There are days when the world seems to hold its breath, when numbers, charts, and economic reports weave a story far grander than mere data. On this June 18th, 2025, the news from Japan pulls us into a gripping tale, one of an island nation, caught in an unexpected economic storm where the gales of American protectionism and the currents of a global slowdown threaten to unsettle an already fragile economy. Picture a land of shimmering skyscrapers and humming factories, renowned for its sleek automobiles and cutting-edge technology, suddenly shaken by a 1.7% drop in exports, the first decline in 8 months. It's a seemingly modest figure, but beneath it lies a cascade of consequences that could reshape Japan's future. This is a story of trade tensions, strategic gambits, quiet struggles in corporate boardrooms, in government offices, and a people who, once again, must summon their resilience to face adversity. The tale begins on the bustling docks of Japan's ports, where containers brimming with cars, electronics, and machinery stand ready to cross oceans to the markets of the world. For decades, these exports have been the lifeblood of Japan's economy, a vital force that lifted the nation from the ashes of the post-war era to become an industrial titan. But in May 2025, something shifted. The figures released this morning reveal an uncomfortable truth. Exports to the United States, Japan's largest market, plummeted by 11.1%. Automobiles, those gleaming symbols of Japanese ingenuity, which account for nearly a third of the $145 billion in goods shipped to the US last year, are at the heart of this plunge. The reason? Across the Pacific, a wave of protectionism has swept through, with 25% tariffs slamming Japanese imports, and the storm is far from over. A new reciprocal tariff of 24%, set to take effect on July 9th, looms like a gathering cloud as trade talks between Tokyo and Washington stall. In the sleek offices of Tokyo, analysts pore over the data with growing unease. This export slump is no isolated incident. It's part of a broader tapestry where China, another cornerstone of Japanese trade, saw an 8.8% drop in imports from Japan. China's factories, once ravenous, are slowing, caught in the grip of a global economy that sputters and stumbles. Japan's imports, meanwhile, fell by 7.7%. A sign that domestic demand, already frail, cannot offset the losses abroad. The result is a trade deficit of 637.6 billion yen, roughly $4.39 billion. Less dire than the forecasted 892.9 billion yen, but a warning bell nonetheless, for behind these numbers lies a deeper truth. Japan's economy, already shrinking by 0.7% in the first quarter of 2025, is losing momentum. Picture the production lines of automotive giants like Toyota, Honda, and Nissan, pristine factories where every motion is calibrated to the millimeter. Workers weld, bolt, and assemble, but a shadow looms. The US tariffs are not just a tax on goods, they're a chokehold on trade, a blow to the competitiveness of Japanese cars in the American market. In glass-walled boardrooms overlooking Tokyo's skyline, executives face wrenching choices. Absorb the tariff costs to keep prices competitive. It means slashing already strained profit margins. Raise prices for American consumers? It risks tanking sales in a cutthroat market. Some whisper about relocating production to the US, a costly move that would take years to implement. Each option is a gamble, and time is running short. But the story doesn't end at Japan's shores. It takes us to the hushed corridors of the Bank of Japan, where monetary policymakers watch the unfolding crisis with a mix of caution and dread. The BOJ, which has kept interest rates near zero for years, stands at a crossroads. The yen, weakened by the interest rate gap with the US, should theoretically make Japanese exports more attractive. But the tariffs nullify this edge, turning a potential boon into a burden. Tightening monetary policy to curb imported inflation, fueled by a weak yen, could stifle domestic consumption, already lackluster. Keeping rates steady risks letting inflation erode household purchasing power in a country where an aging population saves more than it spends. Economists speak of a delicate balance, but for ordinary citizens, it's a tangible reality: rising prices, stagnant wages, and a creeping uncertainty. Beyond the numbers, there's a human dimension to this tale. Think of the workers at car dealerships in Osaka or Nagoya, noticing orders slow to a trickle. The families in industrial towns, whose livelihoods depend on the factory's hum. The students at Tokyo University, debating the merits of free trade versus protectionism with fervent idealism. This export slump isn't just a line on a graph. It touches lives, dreams, and plans. Yet Japan has a storied history of resilience. This isn't the first time it's faced headwinds. In the 1980s, The Plaza Accord and a surging yen forced Japanese industry to reinvent itself. In the 2000s, the global financial crisis pushed the nation to diversify its markets. Today, the question is whether Japan can once again turn adversity into opportunity. Analysts warn that U.S. tariffs could slash Japan's exports to America by 20 to 30%, a shock that might shave 1% off the nation's GDP. But this isn't inevitable. Behind closed doors, Japanese diplomats are scrambling to negotiate a trade deal with Washington, one that could soften the tariffs bite. Companies are exploring new markets in Southeast Asia or Europe to offset losses. And in research labs, engineers are pouring their expertise into cutting-edge technologies, electric vehicles, artificial intelligence, renewable energy that could restore Japan's competitive edge. But these transformations take time, and time is a scarce commodity in a world where economic and political decisions move at breakneck speed. What makes this moment so riveting is how it encapsulates the tensions of our era. American protectionism, driven by a desire to shield local jobs, reflects a growing distrust of globalization. China's slowdown underscores that even economic giants are not immune to cycles. And at the heart of it all is Japan, with its discipline, pragmatism, knack for reinvention, standing at a pivotal juncture. This export slump, alarming as it is but a chapter in a longer saga. One of a nation that has always navigated the delicate balance between tradition and modernity, between domestic challenges and global pressures. So, what lies ahead? The coming weeks will be critical. If Tokyo secures a deal with Washington, the tariffs might ease breathing life back into the auto industry. If Japanese firms diversify their markets, they could cushion the blow from American and Chinese slowdowns. And if the Bank of Japan strikes the right balance between monetary stability and economic stimulus, it might avert a downward spiral. For now, uncertainty reigns. Tokyo's streets, neon lights still glow, trains speed along, and life goes on. But beneath the surface, an economic battle is unfolding, one that could redefine Japan's place in the global order. This is a story still being written, and each day brings a new twist.